Hello students, how are you all? Okay, so today we will start with a new chapter, physical features. We will look at the different relief features of India and we will learn about them. You have already learned that India is a vast country with varied landforms. Now the kind of terrain you live in, you become familiar with it. So if you're living in vast stretches of plain land, it is familiar to you. And if you live in hilly regions, you know that the rugged terrain with mountains and valleys is a common feature. Our country has practically all the major physical features of Earth: mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, islands. So, today we will learn about the various physical features that our country offers. India has lots of physical variation. Geologically, the Peninsular Plateau is one of the ancient landmasses on the Earth's surface. It is supposed to be the most stable land block. The Himalayas and the northern plains are more recent landforms. So if you look from the geology point of view, Himalayan mountains is an unstable zone, whereas the Peninsular Plateau is a stable zone. The entire mountain system of Himalayas is a very youthful topography, which has high peaks, deep valleys, and fast flowing rivers. The northern plains are formed of the alluvial deposits, and the peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. So you can say that the major physical divisions of India, the major physiographic divisions or the physical features can be grouped into the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the, the northern the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, and the island. So these are the six major physiographic divisions of India. Today we will learn only about the Himalayan mountain. So the Himalayan mountains, like I have told you all, they are geologically young. Okay, and these are structurally fold mountains and they stretch over the northern borders of India. Now these mountain ranges run in a west to east direction. These mountain ranges run from the west to the east direction, that is from Indus in Kashmir right to Brahmaputra in the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and together it forms an arc. Okay, it forms an arc, and this arc is 2,400 kilometers long. The Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They cover a distance of 2,400 kilometers and their width varies from 400 kilometers in Kashmir 250 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. So you can clearly see that the altitudinal variation is greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. Now the Himalayas, it consists of three parallel ranges and they are divided longitudinally. Okay, so three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. A number of valleys lies between these ranges. A number of valleys lies in these ranges. The northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas, or you can call them Himadri. There are three names: Great Himalayas, Inner Himalayas, or Himadri. Okay, so the northern mountains consist of Himalaya, Hindu Kush, and the Karakoram. These young fold mountains extend from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh, and their length is 2,500 kilometers and width varies from 230 to 400 kilometers. Some of these numbers are wrong. So it has it's divided into three parallel ranges. The first is the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. The second is Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. And third is the Shivalik Hill ranges. Yes? Okay. So we'll talk about the Greater Himalaya or Himadri. Now, it is the most continuous range, which consists of loftiest of peaks, and the average height of this mountain range, Himadri, is 6,000 meters. It contains most of the Himalayan peaks. So most of the peaks that are there in Himalayas, they're all over here. From Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, all of them fall in this mountain range. Now the folds of the Great Himalayas, they are asymmetric in nature. The core of this part of Himalaya is composed of granite, and it is perennially snowbound. That means there is always snow on the peak. And a number of glaciers also descend from this range. So it contains the peaks also, and it is always covered in snow, and the core is made of granite. Okay. Now we'll talk of Himachal or the Lesser Himalayas. Now this range is mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rock. Now the altitude varies in this mountain range varies from 3,700 and 4,500 meters. And the average width is 50 kilometers. If you look at the Pir Panjal range forms, the Pir Panjal range, it forms the longest and the most important range. The Dhauladhar and Mahabharat ranges are also some prominent ranges that fall in these, that is the Lesser Himalaya. This range consists of famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra and the Kulu valley in the Himachal Pradesh. This region is well known for its hill stations. All the hill stations generally fall in this region. Okay, now we'll talk of the last one, that is the outermost range of Himalayas. It's also called as Shivalik. They extend for 10 to 15 kilometers, and again the altitude varies from 900 and 1,100 meters. Now, these ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments that are brought down by the rivers from the main Himalayan ranges located in the far north. So, the main Himalayan ranges, that is the first one, the Himadri. So, all the rivers that come down from Himadri, they bring down some unconsolidated sediments, and these helps in making, this is the main composition, this is what is mainly found in this mountain range. Himalayan range, these valleys, they are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. So when you look at the valleys in this particular region, that is between the Lesser Himalayas, that is Himachal and Shivalik, these valleys are known as dunes. Dehradun, Kotli Dun, and Patli Dun are some of the well-known dunes. With this, children, we have come to the end of the first part of this chapter. So there is some textbook work. In your textbooks on page 8, there are two questions. There are two blue boxes with questions in it. I want you to do it in the textbook, okay? So you have to find the names of the glaciers that pass and the ones that lie, the glaciers that are there in the Great Himalayas and the passes that lie in the Great Himalayas. You have to write the names over here. Then you have to name all the states where the highest peaks are located. There you can see the peak name, country, and heights. Out of these, whichever are in India, I want you to write down the name of the state over there. And you have to find the location of Mussoorie, Nainital, and Ranikhet in your atlas. And again, write down the states over there. Okay, students, this is textbook work. Now, in your notebooks. In your notebooks, you will write down these questions and their answers. Which are the major physiographic divisions of India? Name and describe the three parallel ranges of the Himalayas. Name the landmass of India that are supposed to be the most stable and the landmass of India that are supposed to be the most unstable. And also, how do Himalayas represent a youthful topography? Okay, students, please do this work. Until next time, stay home, stay safe, take care. Thank you.